Hello to everyone who has come to celebrate Heschel's graduating class of 2016. My name is Max Zworth. I graduated from the Toronto Heschel School 8 years ago in 2008, when this year's grads would have been an SK, and I'm speaking to you from Jerusalem. I guess I have two important ties to this graduating class. The first is that my little sister is Annika, who was born when I was in grade 2 at the Beth David campus. She's graduating, meaning that my family's 18 years at Heschel have come to an end. The second is that I still feel a strong connection to Heschel even years after having graduated. And from my experience, it produces pretty good people. After graduating from Heschel, I went to high school at North Toronto Collegiate Institute. It feels sort of weird to try to describe 4 years of high school in just a few sentences, but I will say just two things. I know you've heard it many times, especially when you visited chat, but high school becomes so much more fun when you are involved in the school. Whether it's music, sports, student council, academic clubs, volunteering, being involved allows you to create connections with people in different grades, with teachers, and to make your learning environment about something more than only being in class, which I think is something Heschel tries to emphasize. Being involved gives you a sense of community, and when you have that, it's much easier to get yourself out of bed and go to school in the morning. The second thing I'll say about high school is that I realized pretty quickly that I was extremely well prepared academically. This includes math, science, and certainly English, but I wasn't just prepared in that I had learned enough material at Heschel to get by. Even while I was in high school, I felt that at Heschel I had learned how to think. I learned to think creatively, to look for solutions outside the box, to think about subjects critically, to work as part of a team to solve problems, and to make connections between ideas that might not seem so obvious. One thing that I wish for you moving forward is that no matter what you do, where you are, or what you're studying, you keep thinking. From what I've heard about the speeches you made in the last couple weeks, you are a group of students that is not only intelligent and thoughtful, but interested in the world around you and concerned for the well-being of other people around the world. Keep it up and try to keep making those wacky connections like you've learned to do at Heschel. After high school, I spent a year in Israel on a gap year program called Nativ. I lived in Jerusalem for 6 months, studying Jewish philosophy and history at Hebrew University, and then moved to a small development town in the Negev called Yerucham for the second half of the year, where I volunteered as a medic in the Magen David Adom ambulance service and taught English in an elementary school. A lot of the reflection I've done on my time at Heschel actually happened during that year when I was in Israel, particularly after taking a course on the writings of Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel, for whom this school is named. I realized that Heschel the school really is aligned with the ideas of Heschel the man, not only in its pluralism, but in its commitment to the idea that, like I said, there isn't really such a separation between the religious and the secular. To at least some extent, your tradition and Jewish education will shape how you see and think about all sorts of things in the world. I'm about to go into my final year at McGill University in Montreal, where I study environmental science and religious studies. It would be hard to claim that my Heschel education hasn't informed my university degree. First of all, I doubt I would be studying environmental science if not for the emphasis placed on environmentalism at Heschel, and all the time we spent gardening with Maura Ellen. I'm grateful for that, because it's true that climate change and environmental destruction are some of the most important challenges we will face moving forward. When I was in grade 8, we watched the Dead Poets Society in language arts, and my teacher, Maura Ellen, made a big deal about this one scene where Robin Williams, Zichrono Livracha, gets up on his desk and says, "I stand upon my desk to remind myself that we must constantly look at things in a different way." This is sort of what I and you learned to do at Heschel, and what I hope you will continue to do as you move throughout high school. There was a quote on the wall in my high school by a man named Abraham Joshua Heschel that says, "When I was young, I admired people who were clever. Now that I'm old, I admire people who are kind." I have no doubt that all of you will do a good job of being both. Mazal tov to you on your graduation, and I wish you all the best.